Hi, I'm Marshall. I'm the owner of Going Gear. This is the extended review of the Chameleon series of flashlights from Nitecore. Okay, here we have the most popular of the Chameleon series, the CR6. So it has the primary white light in addition to a bright color light, and the bright color on this one is red. There's also blue, green, ultraviolet, and infrared. So for most of the video we're just going to use the CR6 because they all have the same interface and everything. When we go outside, I'll take the other colors other than the infrared because I don't have any camera equipment for that, and I'll probably just use the CU6 inside. I'll show you my dog's bed, show you how disgusting he is, or I'll come up with something good. But I'll take the red, blue, and green outside for sure. So some good specifications on the side of the box. 440 lumens on max output, 400 hours of runtime on the lowest output, 109 meters of beam distance, and then on the primary red light you're looking at 120 lumens. On the green you're looking at 185 lumens. On blue you're looking at 35 lumens, and then the ultraviolet and the infrared, they don't specify that because obviously they're running under different specifications. So let's take a look at the CR6, show you what you get with all of these lights, all the accessories and everything like that. See if we can get all those other ones out of the way. Let's pull this open, show you what you get on the inside. And get everything out without destroying it. I'm not very good at that. Man, I'm just mangling that user manual, which is a shame because there's a bunch of good information in there. Alright, so you have the user manual. Definitely take a look at this. All kinds of good information. Actually has ANSI specification charts for the 3 different main models. And then of course the CI6, the CU6 have their own. But they talk about all the different runtimes and everything. And as always, you can get all that information on our website if you need any of that. But it has operation instructions. There's 3 switches on this thing. A lot going on with the lights. A lot of good information in there. Definitely take a look at that. So, accessories that you get. You have a nice holster. We're going to put the light in the holster here in just a second. Pop the light out. Let's go ahead and slide the light in the holster just so you can see what that looks like. Slide it down in there. You got the flap that goes over the top. You've got the attachment points there on the back. Metal D-ring. Nice sturdy holster in case you want to use this as a duty light or on your belts or for any other purposes where you need that holster. Other accessories that you have. So you have, let's actually pull them out because they kind of go together in the bag. So you have a combat grip ring. So a lot of people like to use these in conjunction with the handgun. So if you want to use that, put that on there. It goes on right there. You can slide down on it if you want. It also has a lanyard attachment point. There's 2 more lanyard attachment points on the light. If you want to use the included lanyard, there's a pocket clip. So the pocket clip attaches right there or right there. I don't know how useful it would be right there. It'd be kind of awkward, but in either place it would be kind of awkward, honestly. A light this size. But some people like pocket clips, and they have one in there. You got spare O-rings, spare boot cover tail cap, in case that ever goes bad for any reason. So lots of spare parts, lots of accessories. But here's the thing that most people care about is the flashlight. So this is the CR6. So you can see lots of LEDs down in there. So you have the main white LED that's a Cree XPG2. You have the main color LED, which is an XPE, and then you have the secondary color LEDs, which are going to be your red, blue, green LEDs. And we'll show you the interface and show you what all those do here in just a second. So this is powered by a single 18650 or 2 CR123s. We always recommend that you use 18650s unless you're going to be storing the light for a long time. So if this is going in a go bag or any kind of emergency kit or something like that, where you're not going to be using it for a year or 2 or something like that, use CR123s because they have fantastic shelf life, great temperature operating range. For everybody else, which is the majority of people, 18650s are the way to go. So they'll save you a lot of money in the long run, even though they are a little bit more expensive up front. But we have bundles with the lights and the batteries and chargers and all that. In a bundle will save you a bit of money if you want to get it all at once. The batteries we recommend, Olight 3400 milliamp hour 18650s. Really nice batteries, nice high capacity, high quality cells. They come with a free carrying case, and they're a few dollars cheaper from comparable better batteries from other manufacturers. So those are the ones that we recommend. So we're going to open the light up. Go and stick one of those 18650s in there. Show you the operation and everything on that. Whole lot of threads on there. I don't know why they went with that many threads, but it should seal really, really well. Let's go and show you the inside if you can kind of see in there, inside of the switch. So we'll slide the battery down in there. We're going to stick that tail cap back on. We'll talk about the operation. So this thing has 3 switches, bunch of different LEDs. So this is going to be relatively complicated compared to some of my other reviews. So let's talk about how to operate this thing. So you have this rear switch. Lightly press it, you have momentary, click it all the way for constant on, and as long as you're just touching that switch, your modes, your outputs, your colors, nothing like that is going to change on you. If you do want to change, you have two switches, one that says white, one that says color. Tap that white switch, it'll cycle through your different outputs. You just keep on tapping it to cycle all the way through, and it goes down super low. Great for up close kind of stuff if you ever need that, and really good battery life on that. And then you have the other higher outputs when you need them. And then you have colors as well. So tap the color, and there is that super bright red. It shows up kind of white on camera, but you'll see when we go outside, it is just a very bright red. And then you have the secondary LEDs. So there's red, there's your green, there's your blue, and then back to the main LED. You have a few outputs of red on that. So a lot of versatility in this light, a lot of different things you can choose, different outputs and functions and stuff like that. You actually also have some flashing modes as well. So if you press and hold the color button, it goes into what they call the police strobe. I don't know how legal that is, so use that with caution. Definitely check your local laws before using that in public. And then you also have some other flashing modes. So if you press and hold the white button, you have strobe, and then you have SOS, or the beacon flashing mode, and then there's an SOS in there as well. And there's no memory on those flashing modes except for the strobe. So if you turn it off, turn it back on, it'll have memory for the strobe. The rest of them, it'll go back into whatever regular output you had it in last. So you also have instant access to max output of both the white and the color. And the way to get into those is pretty simple. So you press and hold either the white or the color, and then hit that rear switch. And so press and hold the white, and you have instant access to the max output of the white. Same thing with the color. So that'll give you instant access to the max output of the red. Pretty cool feature that they have in there. So that's the interface that talks about all the different outputs and levels and all that stuff. Let's go over that again real quick. So lightly press the rear switch for momentary, click it all the way for constant on. Two switches, white controls your white output, tap it to cycle through the different ones. Color controls your different color outputs. You have the main LED color, so the red or blue or green or ultraviolet or infrared, depending on which model you have. And then the secondary, red, blue, green as well. You have instant access to the highest of the white and the highest of the color, so press and hold white or press and hold color. And then you have some flashing modes as well, so press and hold color to get into the police strobe, press and hold white to get into strobe, beacon, and SOS, and then tap it, either one, to get into the regular output modes. Okay, so that is the interface and everything of the CR6. Same interface on all the other lights, with the exception of the CI6 and the CU6. The CI6 and the CU6 just have one output for the infrared or ultraviolet LED, so they don't have the multiple outputs for the main color LED like the other three models do. So just keep that in mind, just one output on the ultraviolet and the infrared. Okay, so we're going to take all these outside, or we're going to take the red, the blue, and the green outside, show you how they do outside. Before we do that, I'll go see if I can find something that'll fluoresce with the CU6. So let's go ahead and try that. So this is a chair in my kitchen that my 2-year-old daughter likes to sit in and eat breakfast. You can see it looks relatively clean, maybe a couple spots that we could wipe up. But switch over to the UV, you can see all the various spill areas, probably some snot and spit and wiping her hands and wiping her face and drool and various other stuff that she's gotten on there. So now looking at this, we probably need to take the cover off and wash it pretty well. But that'll give you an idea of what you can see with the ultraviolet that you're not going to be able to see with just your regular white light or other colors. Alright, we're outside with the blue, green, and red Nitecore Chameleon models. We also have the big 40 mag light that I always use as a baseline. Let's go ahead and try out that mag light first. So there is a little tree about 25 feet away. Dock house down there on the lake's about 100 feet away. Let's go ahead and try out the Chameleon. So this is the red one. We're going to be using it except for talking about the different colors. So make sure it's cranked all the way up. Cycle through the different outputs. And then you can see out at 100 feet, makes it out there really well. So dock house down there, 100 feet away. Everything's lit up really well. Not too bad for an XPG2 LED that's in a relatively small reflector. You know, that's why they went with the XPG2 instead of the XML2. A lot of people ask that. It's because you wouldn't really get any distance in that kind of reflector. So the little bit smaller LED makes it get out there a little bit better. So shine it around, show you what the different outputs look like. Up close kind of stuff, the low output is great for that. And then you can see you start getting the further distances once you start cranking it up. And then the color LEDs, let's try those out. So there's the red. That is a bright red. So it's pretty cool that some companies are starting to make some dedicated color LEDs where, you know, they're using the reds, they're using the greens, they're using the blues and other colors instead of using filters or other methods to get those colors, because you can see how much brighter they are. So pretty crazy amount of red coming out of this thing. And then you have your flood of the different colors. Nice option. And then we go to the low output on the main red. See how bright that sucker is. And then you have the secondary colors again. Definitely a cool feature. Let's actually zoom in. You see how well the red alone lights up the dock house. So it's not bad for a red LED. You know, a lot of the filter lights, the high output filter lights, you put a filter on there and it doesn't get out there that well, so it's pretty impressive. Let's try out the other colors. Next up we have the green. You can see how bright that green is. Again, very cool. If you want the green, you want that bright green, fantastic option for that. Show you with the other ones. Again, you got those secondary, the red, green, and blue. And then there's the low output on the main green, and the second one, and the third one. Gets out there really well, 100 feet away, green LED, you know, not using a filter or anything like that on a white. You can see how well that works. And then finally we have the blue. Let's try out that blue one. There's the blue on the max. Very bright blue. I don't know what else to say about it. These are pretty cool lights. Got some cool features on them. You got all the different colors, and then that main bright color is very, very useful. I'll show you what the different levels of the blue looks like. Alright, let's try out at a longer distance. Alright, we got some more distance to work with. We're just going to use the CR6 for this part of the video. Got a boat right there about 20 feet away. Got some targets set up out there at longer distances. The same one we use in the flashlight comparison videos if you watch those. So the first one is at 50 yards. Second one's at 100 yards. Tree line beyond you can see out there at 130 yards. Makes it out to all those pretty well. So you can see why they went with the XPG2 instead of the XML2, because if they had done XML2, definitely wouldn't have done these kind of distances with as small of a reflector as they used. So we'll cycle through the lower outputs just so you can see what those look like. And then let's do the colors. So you can see the red by itself actually makes it out to that first target. No problem at all. It's lit up pretty well. Actually, you can see the lighter parts of the second one as well. And then you've got the secondaries of the, let me zoom out so the whole frame isn't just my hand. So we got the secondaries of the red, the green, and the blue. And then you start getting in to that main red. But you can see, you know, a lot of lights, if we had just slapped a filter on the front of this thing, you wouldn't be getting this kind of distance and this kind of output in terms of the red, or most of the lights aren't like that anyway. So just using the red LED by itself, you get pretty good output out of it. You get pretty good distances. So big benefit in terms of color LEDs if you want to use the red, the blue, or the green, or the ultraviolet or the infrared. You know, those aren't colors that you can get with filters. So pretty cool option that you have in this series of lights. Let's actually try out the other colors just so you can see what the colors themselves look like. There's the green. Really impressive green output. You can see 50 yards. Actually makes it out to the 100 yards one pretty well also. Really crazy amount of green light coming out of this thing. Let's try out the blue. Blue's pretty impressive too. So 50 yards, 100 yards, makes it out to both of those really well. Of course our eyes see blue and green as brighter than red, so that doesn't hurt. Alright, so that is the Chameleon series of flashlights from Nitecore. Lots of features, lots of functions, lots of versatility in this series of lights. If you need the red, if you need the blue, if you need the green, or the ultraviolet, or the infrared, if you want those secondary LEDs, you know, this is a really hard series of lights to beat. You saw the output that you can get without having to use filters or anything like that. You know, these aren't dedicated lights where you just get the one color or you just get the white and you have to slap on filters or use separate lights or anything like that. You get all of that in just one light. Definitely a cool series of lights. Alright, so if you like them, you can buy them from us at goinggear.com. Any questions or comments, you can reach us in the comments or at goinggear.com. And if you like the video, please subscribe. We do a lot of gear and flashlight videos. And that's it. Thanks for watching.